Thank you for staying with us. It's back to our conversation with Segun Showunmi, the convener of the Alternative. Now, we see defections into the PDP almost on
into
a
the
weekly
PDP or into the APC?
Sorry, into the APC. It has become sort of like a weekly ritual. And now, you know, you before we went to the break, you called it political inducement. And the APC itself is saying this is just realignment or alignment in the sense of the word. Some people are asking, when will the PDP and others in the opposition, you know, face the reality at hand and stop hiding behind this excuse of political inducement?
No. Please be advised. If I say political inducement, I do not really mean that it's the president inducing them. They could induce themselves in that direction. For instance, if you are a governor and you want to run a second term, and you're from the southern end of the country, the southern belt, you could look at the country and say to yourself that, hey, what's going on here? We just done 8 years of Buhari in the north. Why are the North not generally understanding that we run the country on a pendulum? Let me be very clear so that nobody is even thinking that we're joking here. I'm not going to be part of this. The South is going to hold the presidency for 8 years, and I think the president is the best person to make that happen, so I'm staying. That would be a political reason for doing that. Some others might say, hey, what's going on here? Am I going to take the risk that I'm going to be going for re-election and then they'll come and say the court said PDP does not have candidate? Because if they don't know what they're doing to themselves, that possibility exists. No court is going to do them a favor. No judge is going to do them a favor. If they waste their time in court, if they start putting all sorts of obstacles in front of themselves, of course the judiciary is going to be firm enough, looking at the evidence and the argument adduced and make pronouncement. And INEC is not going to do them a favor. So what do you want the governor to do? He's going to say, okay, really and truly, who are these people? I'm out. Some of them will say, okay, where's the easiest way for me? Or everything considered. The president, look, let's not fool ourselves. The presidency of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, so that I don't personalize it, is doing well relative to the governors, relative to the structural intentions around putting more energy at local government and all that. So you don't expect a local government chairman who for the first time in the history of the country is seeing resources being warehoused, legitimate resources via the RAMFAC and, you know, how they share money, come to them. They will say, what has been going on all these years? Why is it that now we're getting so much? Or governors who suddenly don't have to worry about not paying pensions, who don't have to juggle about fractional salaries for their workers. Say, this is good. They will have legitimate reasons to want to back in. The conversation on the table is not about whether he will win or he will not win. We can do that on another day. The conversation on the table is the health of the democratic institution and the journey we're on. No, but in fact, if he knows what is good, he's supposed to be the one that is most nervous at the potential optics of a one-party or one ideal, one strong party country under his watch. It would effectively mean that for the first Democrats, first real long-term Democrat who has been in the play under his watch, the democracy of the country shrank. That's failure. Whatever he needs to do is his business. But he can't carry the reputation that, as a Democrat, well, you can't call Bola Tinubu a soldier. You can't call him one of the reactionary forces. He's always been in democracy. His credentials in democracies are quite clear. How will he then be saying that under him, part of, you know, the reconstruction of the country, recalibration of the country would then include the narrowing of the democratic space until it begins to resemble that only the party of the ruling president can survive, and every other party, including institutional parties that have been surviving before he came on board. I don't know how he wants to flip the coin.
So are you suggesting that the APC should shut its doors?
No, you see, that's not what I'm suggesting. What I'm saying is that, you see, a leader has more than just the responsibility of a 9-to-5 job of being a manager. As a president, as a manager of the country, okay, RAMFAC, that will go. Finance will do what it needs to do. CBN will do what it needs to do. That's easy. All of the other trappings, your ministers, they will do their bit if you give them the resources to work. That's easy. Your duty as president of the country is to make sure that you are looking at all the things that can make your country sustainable and make your country great. And part of the thing that makes your country great is to say to yourself, if we are to run a one-party state, what type of structures, what type of attitude do we need to run that? And I can tell you for free, yes, nations have done very well under one party. China has done well, all the other ones have done well, and they've scaled up development. Some of us even begin to say that this democracy is not even a lot of noise and very little progress. But for you to do that, we can do that, we can choose that. It has to be consensus that I've been screaming. We have to build consensus around development, around development. And one of the things that will need to happen, one of the things that will definitely need to happen is that everywhere they've run that process, they've never allowed the ruling elite to live large at the expense of the mass. So for you to do that, if you desire it, if that is our future, then we must understand that then we must be a bit stricter with those who are in charge. Because you can't, otherwise what will happen is that they'll start to assassinate themselves. People are going to assume that, oh, anybody who gets the ticket of the ruling party is automatically going to win, and before you know what's happening, they'll start killing themselves. Why do you want that in a country?